Hi everyone, I'm Matt from Look Into Bitcoin, and today we're going to be looking at how you should react when seemingly everyone is losing money in the cryptocurrency markets. To do this, we'll be using a number of resources, all freely available on lookintobitcoin.com, your number one source for Bitcoin information. If you haven't already, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications to ensure you're receiving all of our content as soon as it's released. So I think the best way we can actually show that a majority of traders and investors are currently losing money on their Bitcoin positions is to actually look at some on-chain data. So we can actually go down and find the realized price. Now, this is one of Look Into Bitcoin's most simple but most effective metrics. And the realized price is taking into account the last price at which each Bitcoin on the network was actually transferred from one wallet to another. And therefore, we can aggregate all of that data to see the average previous transfer price of Bitcoin. And a lot of people refer to the realized price as the true value or the fair value of Bitcoin, as it is based on the network utilization price rather than just the speculative nature that surrounds cryptocurrencies. So we can see the realized price right now, if we just zoom in, is currently sitting at around $20,000. And if we work under the assumption that the last transferred price of any given Bitcoin was actually the price that most people were actually buying Bitcoin or selling Bitcoin, we can see that the current realized price sitting at $20,800 is fairly substantially higher than the current price of around $16,500. So we can work under the assumption that currently a majority of Bitcoin holders are actually at a loss on their position. And if you're active on any social media platforms or just keep up to date with cryptocurrencies in the news or any other content creators surrounding Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general, you'll be aware that right now it's seemingly a very dire situation for cryptocurrencies and Bitcoin. Seemingly everyone is losing money and seemingly there is no hope going forward. However, we can see that this is nothing new. There have been multiple instances in the past where a majority of Bitcoin holders were at a loss on their positions and seemingly it was never going to recover. They were never going to recoup their initial investment. But we can see, using this realized price indicator, in every single one of these circumstances, once Bitcoin has actually dipped beneath the realized price, it was actually a historically great area to accumulate some BTC. We can see in every single bear cycle, Bitcoin had at least a prolonged period of time of a few weeks to a couple months beneath this realized price value, such as here in the 2015 bear market, we could see Bitcoin was around $300 when it first dipped beneath this realized price and actually bottomed out at around $200. And it stayed here for a good few months and gave investors the opportunity to accumulate and dollar cost average into their positions at these prices. And a similar story for the 2018 bear market. We dipped beneath at around $4,800 and actually bottomed out just above $3,000 as we stayed beneath this realized price for a few months. So what is the current situation regarding Bitcoin price and the realized price? Well, if we zoom in, we can see Bitcoin has actually been hovering around and consolidating around this realized price until quite recently, where we have had a fairly substantial dip beneath. But if we look, Bitcoin crossed this realized price value at around $24,000 a few months ago in June. And as I film this video, Bitcoin's price currently sits in November at around $16,000. And what we can also take into account is in every single circumstance of Bitcoin's bear markets, after the Bitcoin price dipped beneath the realized price, we actually continued to lose about another third of Bitcoin's price value. So in the first example we showed, we went from around $300 to around $200. That's about a 33% decrease in value. And again, in the 2018 bear market, we went from around $4,500 to around $3,000. Again, cutting about 33% off of Bitcoin's price before actually bottoming. And if we see here, as we crossed at about $23,000, if we subtract about a third of that, that gives us about $15,500. And if you actually look on many exchanges, we can see the actual low of Bitcoin's price right now sits at around $15,500. The Look Into Bitcoin data is only taking into account the closing price, but across many exchanges, you'll see we've actually bottomed at around $15,500 as I film this. So if we consider that we've actually been in and around this realized price for a few months, we've dipped beneath the realized price a comparable amount as we have in previous cycles, it doesn't seem as dire a situation as it may initially seem. All strategic investors who took these opportunities to accumulate and dollar cost average into their positions were rewarded with outsized returns in the next cycle. So rather than seeing this as a potentially awful situation and a time where you should exit Bitcoin and cryptocurrency markets, maybe you should see this as an opportunity to really pick up some discounted BTC for the next cycle. So just to summarize, the realized price chart shows us the cost basis for all BTC. And by collating the price at which every Bitcoin was last transacted on the network, we can see the average entry price for all holders. And when the current price of BTC is beneath the realized price, this actually indicates that majority of BTC were acquired at higher prices and therefore resulting in a majority of traders and investors currently being at a loss on their positions. However, historically, when most people are at a loss, this provides a great opportunity to accumulate some discounted BTC. You may have heard the phrase, buy when there's blood in the streets, and when a majority of people are losing money on their positions, it can definitely feel like there are blood in the streets. So any investors who have taken advantage of these situations in the past have reaped the rewards in the following cycles. And it'll be interesting to see in a few weeks, in a few months, once we've actually hopefully increased in price a little bit, if once again this holds true and this was a great area to accumulate BTC. If you like this video, then please visit lookintobitcoin.com, where you can also consider becoming a site subscriber to gain access to live chats, in-depth newsletters, indicator alerts, private trading view scripts, and more, all for a fraction of the standard industry price. And please let me know in the comments down below or across social media platforms what your thoughts are on the current Bitcoin price. I look forward to reading and replying to all of them. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.